Before I put up the blanket to protect the dashboard, I forgot this harness that runs from the front all the way to back into the trunk to like the tail lights and the trunk light and stuff. I'm gonna pop that out of the way and either like flip it off to the side or something, or lay it up on the dash. But this way it's out of the way. I don't have to worry about hitting it with the grinder or something catching fire. So we're gonna continue on with that. So we're gonna be working in the trunk. I'll try and set up a camera angle. That harness runs along the trunk rail to behind this tail light. So we're going to disconnect it and flip it into the front. The little clips, you just got to squeeze them. They're supposed to slide through the hole, but I'm trying to do it without breaking them. Okay, that one. There we go. All right. Okay. Gonna have to take this out too. Okay, so I started pulling the harness out of the trunk, and now it's going to be a little more involved than I wanted it to be. I'm just basically going to pull the whole harness out of the trunk, and then that harness that I showed you running to the front. So I'm just going to set up the camera, and you can kind of watch what's going on. All right, so as you can see, I started undoing the harness. Now what I'm doing is I'm marking all the connections, so hopefully it makes it easy to go back together. But then I realized I got to pull all this out. So basically I'm going to pull all the wiring out of the trunk, anything that ties into that harness that goes up to the front. And as I'm doing it, like I said, I'm marking things. And obviously now I'm going to take out the rear marker lights on the outside because it's all tied into the same harness. And we're going to be cutting up the quarter panels eventually anyway. So anything I think is going to be in the way right now, that's what I'm doing, is removing it. All right, so moving on, we're taking out the harness. Now we're on the inside of the car by the back seat area. We're going to unclip it from there, and we're going to pull all this out of the way. Okay, now that we got everything out, I kind of just started laying this in there. I'm trying to take a welding blanket and block off like the windshield and the dash area, so while the cutting and grinding on the floor, it doesn't damage anything on that end of it. So we're going to try and see if we can make this work. I really don't feel like taking out the dashboard unless I absolutely have to. So I bought these cool little clips, Amazon, spring-loaded little 1-inch clips. So we're going to try and clip it along the roof line, and then I'm going to figure out how to handle on the bottom. And I got the blanket all clipped up. It's a little tight on the bottom, but at least it'll keep the dashboard protected. So when we start cutting out the floor, it won't ruin anything on the dashboard. I'm just going to continue along. I'm going to start removing all this trim on the outside. I don't want to really do too much cutting. I'm going to have somebody come give me a hand, make sure I'm going in the right direction with it before I screw anything up. Like I said, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I know it's been a big gap in between videos, but everyday life sometimes gets in the way. I'm going to try and be a little more consistent at it, but please keep following, like, subscribe. Thank you.